How's everybody doing?
You guys doing pretty good? Ladies and gentlemen, weird people in the planet of Pluto, Tesla's in space. Today we're gonna crack this box of Kaldheim with her fresh new haircut over there. She's like, what? You like, yeah, I'm kind of jealous. I'm trying to get my hair to that kind of epic level, but it's tough when you live in a basement, folks. So we're gonna crack this box-a-roo from a patron, Don L. D-O-N-L. And Don, appreciate the support, sir. So what we're gonna do here is I want to talk about what's going on with the market, and then you guys, for those of you just listening, you can just kind of listen in podcast style. For those of you who want to kind of watch, well, you can watch some packs being cracked here. But yeah, I want to go over some interesting things. We need to talk about the market of Kaldheim. We haven't really been kind of saying much about it. Kaldheim's turned into like this quiet, weird, Wizard says the best-selling, winter set ever, but you just don't hear anything about it. And the sales are just like calm and quiet. Expected value, TCG market, still holding in the 80s. I know, right? Holding in the 80s. So, okay, I don't really know how. Ooh, that framework always gets me, man. Always gets me. And our first foily common, Anyways, I'm just saying. The financial value holding in the 80s, and distributors claim it's kind of a sluggish selling set. War Master. There's a ton of value. It's interesting is, remember, when a box has a derived value of single cards in the 80s, not every 80 is made up the same way. Does that make sense? Look at that. Dr. Kell swinging in the tree with the borderless for Mythic number 1? That is Mythic number 1, okay. Remember that. I mean, it's because you can have a set that has a single $200 card that can skew the value, looking at you, Jeweled Lotus, and the rest of the cards, you may not have certain amounts of value, Realm Eater. But this particular product has a ton of rares and pathways and mythics. There are multiple rares between $5 and $10 for a standard product. That's really, really impressively good. Here we go, God of the Voyage. Always nice to see a God flip card as a nice rare. And second foil of the box. It's just really strange what's going on. It's a very mixed reaction product. I thought Kaldheim from the beginning, I thought was a good product. I was always a fan of it. Allocation period didn't last long. Sales, now of course people are like, well, Rudy, did you see the draft box prices? And of course, draft box prices are purposely a nice little elixir. You see that played quite a bit. Draft box prices are just purposely inflated because Wizard is just holding the bottleneck on just draft boxes on everything. Look at Strixhaven draft. Look at Modern Horizons 2 draft boxes. God of Fury, very nice for the Mythic number 2. These things always catch me off guard, these little blank ones. It's a really strange thing. There's points in time sometimes that I see stuff like this happen. And it does come up every couple years. That's a really wild artwork. It comes up sometimes where you run into situations where there's a disconnect between how people feel about the product, how the product is selling, the value of the product, and of course what Wizard says about the product. Runamite, love that artwork. Very cool card, by the way. Such for glory. Oh, never mind. Foil common, and of course the blank card that always gets me. And it's a weird thing. It really is, folks, because it's very difficult to kind of get a grasp of this product when you have so many mixed signals, That's the tough part, but when you get mixed signals in life, it makes it challenging. Look at that nice Rune Demon. Number 3 on the Mythic chart, and a nice foily Saga. I always think Sagas look really spicy in foil, man. Usually I'm very suspect of new card types, but, I really do like the Saga concept. I was always a really big fan of that. I just like the whole every turn it does something as you go down the scroll or the saga or the story. I always thought that was a pretty neat thing. Anyways, we got the old Sanctum over here. I actually thought this was a pretty good card because, again, it passes the Rudy test. Does not come into play tapped. That's all I care about. I can't stand lands that come into play tapped. Drives me flipping bananas. I know there's some old lands. Was it in a... Wow, wait, really? God of Death now. Egon. Every time I hear the Egon or Egon, I always think of the old Ghostbusters. It always gets me. And we got a double foil rare box there. Blood on the Snow. I want to comment. There was even... I think it was Alliances that had some lands that didn't come into play tapped, but you had to sacrifice a basic land was it like the Outpost or the Trading Post or some cards back then? I can't remember what it was. And I still liked it because I think it was like you didn't. Some of the cards you had to sacrifice a plains that was untapped versus you could tap the plains for mana then sack it. I can't remember. I remember doing that a long, long time ago. Anyways, didn't mean to get sidetracked there. So anyways, you factor this whole situation in, nice little Realm Walker, and you factor in the beautiful bird, God, the actual tilting, maybe cooling down or some sort of tipping point of the overall market for collectibles. God of, wow, we're getting all the gods, aren't we? It's like our third or fourth god card. And see, that's one of the things I've noticed now that, see, now we can start talking about the Kaldheim expected value because it's actually been out long enough. Ooh, Epiphany, love, oh, God, Borderless Epiphany, Mythic number 4, love it. You know, and it's just one of those things where, you know, I tell everyone, be very cautious using financial value of cards at the beginning until allocation ends and 90 days goes by. Now that we've done that, hey, foil snow covered. Now that we've passed that point, now we can talk about everything going on. Now we can see what the true value is. We can see the market solve the format. We can see the market truly assign value. God, these giant cards. The Kraken costs 1 less for each snow. Look at that. Starts as a 12. I guess if you can get this thing down, even if you have 4 to 6 lands in play, man, you can get this thing down to maybe a 4 or 5 casting cost. That's out of control, man. You know, I still, coming from a guy that back in the day, back in my day, I used to like cast, you know, flipping Polar Kraken, was it? From Ice Age, or Leviathan from the Dark. Yeah. And, you know, that's the thing about Magic, man. Like, you know, don't tell anyone, but like, you know, when I play Magic Arena, just to kind of keep tabs with many things, just don't tell anyone, it'll ruin my image, I don't know what I'm talking about. And there's just certain things that just, the difference in Magic on like Arena compared to like Magic back then, man, all these combos, and everyone's either playing some flippin' Angel combo deck or some sort of mutate same thing. God of Voyage, by the way, nice fancy showcase border there. You know, it doesn't feel the same. I mean, you know, you see these decks at, you know, certain platinum mythic tiers that just play the same flippin' decks, and it's just so combo-y. I don't know. I miss the days. Like, I loved Magic of just relaxing and casting, you know, ridiculously big creatures, Timmy-type decks, or Artifact Rudy decks. And, you know, I like that kind of stuff. I enjoyed the game and the cards a lot more than this era we're in, where, like, people have these extreme just, you know, turn 4, they've got, like, 5 angels out that are all, like, 5/5, or some, what was that flipping deck everyone plays, the white one? Somebody comment in the comment section, that white deck where it's, like, Unhallowed Priest comes into play, gain life, 1/1 counter. Like, it's so mundane and repetitive. There's just no, I feel like there's just no unique creativity. And I find that to be disappointing. And I don't think it really gives the good experience of the way Magic was or was intended to be played with people building and being creative with decks. Does that make sense? Or is old guy Rudy, am I really sounding like an old guy right now? Maybe I'm sounding like an old guy, you know? But that's just my thought process in this stuff, man, you know? And don't get me wrong, the cards got a storytelling, great rare. You know, I mean, the power level of new Magic is just nutsos. And it's tough for me to explain that. Unless, oh my God, Haunting Voyage, holy crap, Mythic number 5. It's tough for me to explain that when you haven't been around or spent your whole life sniffing cardboard. You know what I mean? It's just one of these things where I can't believe where Magic is. And I'm not really saying that in a bad thing, but it's just changed, man. And I know a lot of people complained about that. That's the reason a lot of people don't like Modern, because everybody was playing the same flipping Stoneforge, Mystic, this, that, blah, blah. I remember all the stupid combo. You know, there's a certain amount of, like, 5 decks that everybody in Modern was playing. It was boring or broken or Jace or Lily or Snappies. And, you know, every flipping Modern deck had to have fetch lands to be competitive, and hence the price of fetch lands and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's just Runamite, very cool. Love that card. I love the sagas, man. I love the saga. Look at this. I know it's just an uncommon, but God, it's so cool looking, man. Anyways, last 2 packs of the video, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. I just want to give you all my opinion, and it's just one of these things where, you know, I still think Kaldheim's a good product. God of Worthy, another good God card. But I do think, you know, it's just the market is just playing tug-of-war with itself, you know? The market is just very back, another Kraken. It's very difficult for the market to price, and everyone's trying to figure out what the future is. That's the way to say it. So Anyways, thanks for watching. Really good. God, what a box opening.